Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and this rags to riches playthrough with Oxford City. Since we last spoke and since you last saw, the form has been pretty decent, not gonna lie. We've won a couple, drawn a couple, annoyingly. We've beaten the teams that we should arguably beat, the ones that are much lower down the table. It's the mid-table teams that we seem to be struggling against, so drawn a couple and won a couple. We're back today with the Scarborough Athletic game. The reason I brought it back there is they are also in the playoff push. What we'll then do is probably skip one or two off camera. It might be actually the penultimate episode of this season, depending of course on how the form carries on. We're not out of the title race. So as I said, and as you can see, after that humiliating 4-0 loss to South Shields, we went on, beat Leamington 3-0, Bradford 4-0, Workstop 3-0. We then drew 2-2 and 1-1, both at home, unfortunately. So after that South Shields loss, I mean, we did beat Bedford at home, but of course, like I said, they are almost rock bottom of the table. We then drew the other two home games that we had. We have now just beaten Kings Lynn 2-0 away from home. As I mentioned, I'll bring us back with the Scarborough Athletic game. If we have a look at the table, it is pretty nice reading, but we are 10 points off being champions. So we really need to hope that Macclesfield start to drop points and we continue to rise up the table. But as you can see, 8th place, 56 points. We're on 64 points. We've got an 8-point gap. So unless our form completely falls off a cliff, we should at least be able to secure playoffs in this first season. But of course, it would be absolutely lovely to be able to go up as champions. But Macclesfield are just on a relentless run. They just don't seem to be dropping points at the moment, which of course is frustrating, right? We're in the chasing pack. We're trying to do the best we can. It's nice we've got a 2-point gap above third now. Of course, the higher we finish off in the playoffs, the better it's going to be for us in terms of how the fixtures fall and whether we play at home first or away. But as I said, without further ado, we're going to go straight into the Scarborough Athletic game. As we saw in that league table, Scarborough Athletic are sitting, I think, 5th or 6th in the league. So of course, brought you back to this because they are also in the playoff contentions. But as you can see, really an unchanged starting 11. The only person who's back, Manny Alike, is back in the squad. And to be fair, has proven to us why he deserves to be back in the squad. If you'll have a look at his last 5 games, form hasn't been too bad. He come off 6.4 rating against Kings Lynn, wasn't great. But other than that, he hasn't been too bad for us. I'm just going to tell the boys to pick up exactly where we left off last time. 2-0 win against Kings Lynn. I mean, we're going to just say, go out there and do the same. If we can get a result here, it's going to give us a little bit more of a gap over them other promotion or playoff push teams. And that's exactly what we need. We don't want to be looking behind ourselves constantly and looking over our shoulder. We just want to be focusing on picking up the points and hoping that Macclesfield drop points. We're going to be keeping a close eye on their scores as we go through the next few games. And then depending on what happens with regards to the form, what I'll probably do is after this, like I said, play this game against Scarborough Athletic, skip forward a couple of games, show you one more in this episode so we still have 2, and then I'll probably skip forward to the last 2 games of the season. We may then be seeing them 2 last games in potentially a title playoff and hope that Macclesfield drop points, or alternatively we may be just securing that playoff position. But of course, we've got to win the games that are in front of us, right? And so far, Scarborough are on the attack. Conrad Hunt picks up the loose ball though. Johnson into Conrad Hunt. Hunt plays it down the wing into Clark. Lovely ball by Clark. Isaac is on it. Western Dior, and he scored. Come on. Him and Parker all season been swapping back and forth, back and forth. It seems like it's Western Dior's time to be able to actually step up to the plate. Can we just put a bit of respect on that ball from Clark there? What a beautiful ball. First time shot as well. First time volley. Keeper was nowhere. So 18 minutes played. 1-0 up. Of course, we are at home, and we do like to have a bit of a fortress at home, although we are coming off of 2 draws recently at home. So 31 minutes gone, nothing else of note so far. Pretty well dominating on the stats, apart from obviously possession, which has kind of been a yo-yo for us really all season. Some teams we dominate in possession, other teams not so much. But that's fine. If we're sacrificing possession but we're winning games, I'll take that all day long. I'm not bothered if we don't have the ball in sort of our area in the middle of the pitch. It's more important to have it in their end and scoring goals with it. Highlight for them just before half time. You'd never like to see this, as we've said before in the series. You don't like a highlight just before half time. Johnson deals with it though. An absolute rock. at the back indeed. So 1-0 at half time. We can't complain, but we're not going to give them too much complacency. Things are going well, but I know you can do better. Is anyone in need of a rest? Clark is in need of a rest, but he is probably one of our more influential attackers at the moment. So we're going to leave him on for a while. Then what we'll do is we'll bring on Braden Daniels, probably around the 60th minute mark. We don't want to risk any more injuries at the minute. Beanie is still out injured, unfortunately. So if he's going to be back in time, it's probably going to be for the playoffs, which isn't ideal because he's not going to be up to sort of match fitness and sharpness. But of course, we can't not play a player of that quality, and hopefully he might be here just before the end of the season so we can rack up some match fitness for him. I'm going to praise the boys again. We have gone past that 60-minute mark, but to be fair, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, I've praised them and they're frustrated by the feedback. Okay, I mean, it's not my fault you're not playing better or winning by more. I'm going to praise you because you're still winning, right? Come on, lads, help me out here. 70 minutes played. Let's make that change now. We don't want to risk him getting injured. Okay, so Beanie actually is back training, and I've decided to accidentally put Beanie on the bench rather than Braden Daniel. That's not ideal. Okay, we're not going to make that change then. We can't afford to bring him on now. I think, to be fair, we're actually just going to leave it. We're not actually going to make any changes. We're going to keep it exactly as it is. Do I praise him again? Annoy them even more? Probably not. We will give him 10 minutes though, so we are going to load up that change now. Let's bring him on. Bring Beanie on. He prefers to play on the left, so actually let's take off... I just don't want to risk any injuries. Let's take McEachran off. And also we'll take a Leaky off because we don't want to risk him getting injured as well. I mean, that is a rock at the back that we're doing. We are going to drop it to cautious. And we're going to be a little bit scummy. We're going to drop the tempo down and we're going to ask him to waste time. Now watch that bite us in the arse. Oh. Just get rid of it. Please don't embarrass me now. Canis with an absolute amazing save. Proving once again, I'm going to encourage him instead, why we made such a good decision in signing him. Free kick to Scarborough. At the halfway line. Francis, of course, deals with it. Oh, Humphrey could have done better than that. Them balls we're never going to get out rid of. Come on, ref. He's just absolutely obliterated him. Red card. Oh. Western Dior being injured, I don't know. Potentially is a bad thing. Potentially isn't too much of a bad thing, really. We'll bring Parker on for the last 5 minutes just in case it's a little knock, just to give him a rest. Can we hold out for the win? We can. That's it. 1-0 winners over Scarborough. Like I said, they've dropped out now of the playoffs, and it does give us even more breathing space in that second spot. We're now 10 points above not being in playoffs. And I think Macclesfield drew 1-1 to Chorley. So we are closing the gap ever so slightly. And we go on to become champions. That is the dream. The dream is still alive, boys. The dream is still here. So what that actually means in terms of the table, let's have a closer look. Yep, we're second on 67 points. So they are still, well, I mean, they're still 8 points ahead of us. So it's not ideal, but we're closing the gap, right? They were a lot more points ahead of us at the start. They're not as many points ahead of us now. So we'll take it. So what I'm going to do in terms of the next fixture that I'm going to bring you back to, I'm going to play over and skip over these two. And then what I'll do is I'll bring you back to Chorley, the team that just drew with Macclesfield. I'll bring you back to Chorley and we'll see how we can get on. Also, just to quickly bring you back, this is why Macclesfield have absolutely run away with the league. 20 unbeaten games now. Absolutely ridiculous. This is what we're chasing down. This is what we're trying to chase down. Madness. Just because I know you guys like to keep on top of what the finances are looking like, and I know I've not shown you for a couple of episodes now, but as you can see, we're £46,000 in the red. Not ideal, right? We have got £300 free on our wage budget though, so we might consider spending that before the end of the season in hopes that then they'll increase our wage budget for next season, depending on what happens. Projected balance for the end of the season looks like it's going to be 132 in the red, with then it rising to 321 and 471. So it doesn't bode well for our budgets. We're going to need to go up, or at least do some good cup runs again next season to try and alleviate that debt. Well, I'll bring you back early. We've just lost to bottom of the league, 2-0. How do we go and lose 2-0 to bottom of the league? They're rock bottom of the league as well. To be fair, they played a typical flat back 7, and as we all know, we've seen before in the videos, we're not very good when we play against a flat back 7. Our creative players don't really get the room. You might have seen a little sneaky message when I first brought you back. How do we get back to messages? Right, messages. Daniel Johnson, injured again. Hopefully not going to be out for too long, 12 to 15 days that shows us, but that does mean for a good part of this run up he's not going to be playing and he's not going to be fit, so that could derail the potential title challenge. Annoyingly as well, Macclesfield won, so they are now back to 11 points clear, and Buxton have gone up above us by 1 point, so who knows. I will still bring you back, as I said, for the game against Chorley. I'm going to play Southport off camera. Here we go. We are back with the Chorley game. As you can see, we managed to only draw with Southport, who are 22nd in the league. So we have not been shining ourselves in the best light, as you saw. Today we are at home against Chorley. They're sitting 10th in the league. They did actually just manage to beat Macclesfield 1-0. Annoyingly, Buxton drew as well, so we couldn't take advantage of both of them losing points. Here we go, boys and girls. We have the game against Chorley. Realistically, the targets have now changed, right? We just want to solidify being able to stay in the playoffs. Good news is Johnson's come back quicker than we expected. This might be a risk, but I'm throwing him in straight away. I don't want to keep being leaky at the back. I'm also going to change a leaky to a deep line playmaker. And I'm also going to keep him in his defensive role. I'm going to move him into a defensive midfielder. I don't want to be giving away the ball too much in that area of the park. We are going to bring Jack Birney back into the fold so he can start bringing up some fitness. We want him to be able to sort of hit the ground running again. Lawson's going to drop to the bench for now. He hasn't done anything wrong recently. So here is the starting 11 for the Chorley game. We've got Camus in goal, Hunt, Johnson, Francis and Rudy at the back. Aliki and Ashby holding midfielders, with Clark, McEachran and Birney as our attacking midfielders. Leading line, of course, we've got Weston and Doof. I'm just going to go and say to the boys, we need to get some revenge against Chorley after what happened last time. We lost, obviously, the away fixture, away from home. We're at home, we're at our fortress. Let's make the most of it, and by God, do we need to. We look at the league table. As a live league table, we are 8 points clear. No, we're 7 points clear, sorry, of dropping out of the playoffs. And it would be heartbreaking if we dropped out of the playoffs now. So let's hope the run of bad form comes to an end. We can pick up the points today. I think chasing the title is almost gone now from losing them 2 games, or losing and drawing against them teams that were near the bottom of the league. Very disappointing. But it's part of the game, isn't it? We're going to win some, we're going to lose some. Fortunately, the losses for us at the business end of the season, when really we needed to be putting in our best performances at that point. Somehow we've managed to win a penalty, but we'll take it. It looked like it said, it flashed up and said it was a handball at me. I'll take it all day long. McEachran usually, I mean, he missed his last penalty in a game you didn't see, so let's hope. Luckily, he didn't have any demons in the back of his head, and he's managed to tuck that away. I'm not going to get too excited, because we know how the team have been performing of late. It's a good first step in the right direction. I'm going to praise them. Please now don't go on and concede from this highlight now that I've gone to praise you, because we all know that the shouts come the next highlight after. They're on the attack. They're going to try and get in behind, but it looks like we've got enough coverage. Jack Sampson has scored. Of course he has. Curse to the commentator. And now I've praised them, apparently, drawing 1-1. So now they're all going to be negative. But that's fine. It's 21 minutes played. We're trying to bring him back into the fold. Not injure him again. Okay. Birney's going to be out for the rest of the season, so Lawson is going to be the starting winger moving forward. That's not good. That's really not good. But I suppose he's match sharp, he's match fit, he knows what's required of him, and he produced the goods to get us back in front. And I mean, never mind, it's offside. Why can't anything go our way at the minute? Everything's going against us. We're going to encourage them. To be fair, if we go in at half time, we're going to come out of the break with a positive mindset. I'm going to change it from balance to positive. We need to be picking up wins. Darnell Johnson does what Darnell Johnson does. Steps up at the biggest times. Brings us back in the lead. I'll tell you what, guys and girls, Darnell Johnson is potentially, at this rate, going on the back of the Oxford City away kit that we get. I've decided I'm buying the Lime away kit because I love it. It's a great kit, and I mean, it'll be nice to have something on in the backdrop, right? And Darnell Johnson's been my absolute rock at the back. Westendorf, Clark chases it, just can't get there, but good thinking between them both. Francis jumps for it, does nothing. That's not good. Oh, Francis, last couple of games, he's not been playing as well. I need to keep an eye on Johnson's fitness. Remember, it was a risk throwing him in. We're doing well, but we can definitely find another gear. We need to keep an eye on this. We can't risk him being injured as well. So, we're ahead. We're not going to go positive. We're going to stay balanced for the rest of this. Well, not necessarily the rest of the half, but for now. And we need to just keep an eye on Johnson's fitness. I think 60 minutes up. Francis again, just not engaging with the ball there. Oh. God, he didn't put that into his own net. It's been all Chorley so far. It looks like they're going for a long throw. Rudy, I was going to say, if he's given away a penalty, he had all day to read that. But this is where Lawson excelled. One-on-one. Going past his man, lovely play. Can he finish? It's just the story of his career, really, here, isn't it? Story of his career. Another long throw. Let's just be alert here. Come on. Yes, well done, Clark. Well in. Wayne, I'm going to praise them. Francis finally decides to switch on and wake up. Wins the header. Westendorf. Clark. Lovely ball over the top. McEachran's running in behind. Lovely layoff to Westendorf. The keeper just gets a hand to it. We're going to kick ourselves if we equalise after these chances that we've had. First from Lawson, then from Westendorf. Do we make changes here? I don't know if we risk taking Johnson off, if I'm honest. But do we risk him being injured for the rest of the season, potentially? That is the thing. Lovely ball in. If we can get another one, I'll take him off. We ain't going to get another one like that. Oh, lush ash. It could have fallen to anyone else. Why did it have to fall to Lawson? Lawson, Westendorf, Parker. If they're on song, they are fantastic. But they are them players that, unless they're really in a good run of form, they are awful. Ashby, lovely reactions to pick that up. Clark cuts inside nicely. Selfish. Just square it. McEachran and Westendorf were there. Now we just need to hold it together. I'm going to tell them to focus. They're going to hate me, but it's the right instruction. Don't do anything stupid. Focus on the game. Read it. Make sure we stay in control because we're doing well. I think I'm going to take Johnson off after this. McEachran, lovely ball. Keeper flaps for it. Can Ashby get a goal? Oh my God, how has Westendorf missed from there? Do you see what I mean? He's literally 1 yard out and he still manages to hit the keeper. Let's take him off. We can't risk him picking up an injury. Burrows is just not a good centre-back though, that's the problem. There's so many games I've seen him just do questionable decisions. We take Ashby off. Alike's more tired. Let's bring on Turner. Swap him around. Humphrey Ervers? No. Let's not make too many changes. We just need to hold on. I'm going to tell them to focus again. Instead of going positive, I'm going to drop it to cautious. Get men behind the ball. I'm going to drop the tempo ever so slightly. We're going to waste more time. We're going to be scummy. We've been struggling to pick up points here. Clark, lovely interception. Western York looks at Clark. Lovely way, lovely play, lovely play. Come on, take on your man. Beat him in the box. It's a penalty, surely. Northman's been taken out and injured. Hopefully it's not a bad injury, because the other left wing's just gone off with a red injury. Well, we will bring on Daniel. I mean, ideally, I would have preferred you just take off Clark. There's a lesson for you. Never use the quick subs. 5 minutes of added time. Can we hold on? I feel like this is a cup final after everything that's happened. There we go. Come on. 2-1. Back into winning form. It keeps us third. Chester are hot on our tails. Yeah, we've still got an 8-point gap between us and dropping out of the playoffs, so I'm still happy with that at the minute. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm happy with it, but we weren't at our best. But that's everything for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button. Comment down below, do you think there's a title charge on the cards? We're 10 points behind Macclesfield. But do let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. And again, don't forget to hit that like button if you have enjoyed the episode today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.